How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here, and I do love me my Nintendo Switch. I don't do enough Switch videos on this channel, though, although I play mine pretty regularly. So I wanted to showcase 9 games I've been playing recently. Some of them you may have heard of, many of them you may have not. In fact, this one here is going to make the list. Make sure you subscribe. Check this out. Right up front, we gotta talk about Katana Zero. This game is amazing graphically, just the visuals involved. It has that pixel art, but you play as a samurai who can slow down time, can reflect bullets using his sword, and it's just action-packed and super quick. And each level is kind of like, broken up into sections. So you can see what's going on here. It's just, there's going to be the blood factor too, which is all good, I suppose. But, once you go through, they'll even kind of show you the replay of, like, what you did, how you could maybe do better next time. Maybe shave some time off your score or something like that. I don't know. But plenty of puzzle-type elements along the way, which give you the hazards. You see the giant lasers here, which is no problem for you, because you can kind of, like, phase a little bit. Almost teleport in a way to get past those things, which makes it also another gameplay element that will come in handy for a lot of this game when you go deeper into the levels. Now, these levels here are just kind of the introductory levels. I just wanted to show you these so you're not spoiled, later on throughout the game too. But you can also even, like I said, slow down time too. So if you don't make it, it's no problem. You'll go back. But here you gotta watch out for those fan blades to give you that opening to go on through. Isn't that cool? Yeah, there's a whole lot of that going on in this game, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. Katana Zero, super awesome. Can't recommend it enough. All right, up next from Sega is Rock of Ages 2. This game is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this game and still am. Very Python-esque, as you can see with the kind of cutouts telling you what to do and where to go and stuff like that. You don't want to fall down in those. But what happens is you play as this giant boulder, and you're trying to smash through the enemy gates to take out your opponent, while in the meantime they are doing the same to your fortress. All right, so this is happening, and then it's also happening on the other side, heading towards your guys here. And you want to not fall in those in those ravines, by the way. But here we go, gonna smash through here. All right, so hasn't happened quite yet. But then what happens is, while that's going on, you can also, you see, here comes the enemy. While that's going on, you can also set up little traps and stuff for your enemy, or set up some extra walls for them to dodge, or things like that. So there's some strategy involved too. But the fun part is just not just the comedy and the writing, but to use your giant boulder to smash through these enemy gates. And it's so funny because when you finally do, you can actually just kind of, okay, I'll do the honors here. You can take out some of the spectators as well while you're there, and then you dance on their grave. All right, Rock of Ages 2. Make sure you want to check that out. The visuals are great. It's fun just to go rolling through these play fields here, and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. Check it out, Rock of Ages 2 from Sega. I'd recommend it. Now, BoxBoy, BoxGirl is one of those games that, Nintendo put a lot of time and effort into promoting. And I had a chance to check it out, and it's as fun as they say it is. Because when I first saw it, I was like, well, it looks kind of simplistic, looks like it might be for kids. Nintendo's good at that. However, when the fact that you're creating these boxes from yourself, and then creating little stair steps, and you go through the door, and then it gives you this nice little fanfare that, makes it seem like you actually accomplished something. You did something. It's one of those easy type puzzle games that make you keep playing. You're like, oh, and it's hard to explain, but it's the kind of puzzle game that is simple enough, but it makes you feel really smart when you accomplish, a simple task here. So now here's this button thing. So I'm gonna have to maybe wedge the door into place or something like that, or, gotta do something so I can keep it, so I can walk through, and then that thing comes down. It could be anything to do this. Have you already figured out how to get past this part? Because this is literally me playing it, and I still haven't quite figured it out. Yeah, I can't, seriously, yeah, that, it took my 13-year-old daughter to say, like, why don't you just make a block and push the thing? And that is a true story. She figured it out before I did. All right. So don't overthink it. Check it out. It's BoxBoy, BoxGirl. Very fun. Shakedown Hawaii was a game I was really looking forward to playing, and I'm glad it's finally available now. Basically, over-the-head, pixel view, Grand Theft Auto. That's what a lot of people might say, and that's really one of the best ways to describe it. You can run over anything. You can take people's car. Here's the what is that? The family truckster? Is that from the Griswold family truckster or something like that? You know, it plays a lot like that Retro City Rampage, open world, a little Grand Theft Auto, but still a lot of fun. And you know, it's that half the fun is not even playing the game seriously. It's just to go around and just drive around and have some fun, man. Shakedown Hawaii available now. I think it's worth checking out. Kemono Friends Picross. I am a huge Picross fan. I have no idea why. I got hooked on it when it came out for the Game Boy Classic. And whenever there's a new Picross game, I just gotta check it out for myself. If you're not familiar, I'm sure you've seen puzzles like this before and you're like, what is going on? Well, the numbers on the rows in the column tell you how many groups there are and in what number of sequential order. So like, oh, here's 10 across. Okay, well, there's only 10 spaces, so that's going to go all the way across. But now I know that there's not going to be anything on the other side. Now this one says, you know, 1 and then 6. So there's going to be 1 and then nothing. And then it could be 2 or 3 spaces of nothing. But then the more you fill it in, as you move along here, and the X's mean there's nothing there. But then like when you move in, that's just for your own benefit. But when you fill in the spaces to complete the puzzle, congratulations, you just created a something, a picture. In this case, it's this guy, Lucky Beast. All right. I'm a huge Phoenix Wright fan. The Ace Attorney series, the Phoenix Wright series. If you've heard of them and super not familiar with them, I'm just going to show this briefly. It does 2 scenes. There are when you're actually investigating for clues, and then the courtroom scene is really my favorite part of the game, the fun part of the game. You have to catch them on their lie whenever they're doing their your cross-examination here. So it's like, okay, well, it went left, but that's the testimony says that they went right. So I can call them out on it. And when the music stops, that means you're onto something. Now, I played these for the DS, but now for the Switch, updated graphics, looks a little bit more cartoony, you know. Love the facial expressions and all that, too. So I had a lot of fun with this one. Can't go on without talking about the Castlevania Collection. I was looking forward to this for a long, long time. Castlevania, Simon's Quest, Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 4. There's the Castlevania Adventure 1 and 2 for the Game Boy. Track Castlevania Bloodlines for the Genesis. And then finally, Kid Dracula, available for the first time in the US. On the NES version, Kid Dracula was available for the Game Boy Classic in the US. Now, using Castlevania Bloodlines as the example, there are other things that you can do within these games that maybe you couldn't do on the originals. Like there are save states. You can save the game anywhere along the way if you'd like. There are also some options to change the screen. So you can add scan lines if you'd like. You can, stretch out the screen. Why you'd want to, I have no idea. But you have the option. You can also play it with one Joy-Con, or you can do the dual Joy-Con style, whatever you're more comfortable with. But plenty of options here to keep you playing. Plenty of Castlevania games to keep you playing as well. Super, super fun. Again, like I said, this one's Bloodlines. This is the one that came out for the Sega Genesis, which goes up in price. In fact, the price of this collection alone is less than the price of this game alone for the Genesis. So you're already saving money just like that. One of the highlights of this collection, of course, is Kid Dracula for the NES. It came out for the Famicom in Japan. Super, super fun Castlevania game. It's not like the other Castlevania games. It plays more like a just super fun NES game that maybe you've never played before. You play as Kid Dracula in this case. You can shoot your little fireballs, but other than that, I mean, it certainly looks like Castlevania, more like a cartoony style, right? You recognize some of the creatures here. You recognize maybe even some of the level design. It's kind of nice. This whole first area, the first level of Kid Dracula, is basically the entire Castlevania level from start to end. You recognize a lot of the traps here too. Recognize the staircase to the place, but then you end up fighting this guy. Now, this guy was could have been controversial in the US, but they did alter the graphics a little bit to make him safe, I suppose. But Kid Dracula is available. Again, check it out. Castlevania Collection available now. Super awesome. To prove I'm not a huge selfish jerk downloading all these games for myself, I also grabbed this for my kids. It's called Theater Stories, and it plays like a puppet theater. But the super simple puzzles. Okay, well, I got the basket, and now I need the this thing. All right. Eggs. Perfect. Thank you. There it is. You play this all, by the way, with one Joy-Con. And you hold it kind of like a Wii remote in a way. But it really is just kind of like these super simple puzzles that has this very cool look to it. I actually do like the art style of this game quite a bit, really. Wouldn't mind seeing more games done almost like, well, I mean, not sure, there's the Yoshi games, sure. But it just looks like, you know, it's a little fun, like you're doing a school puppet theater thing for your local preschool. I don't know. This is me actually playing it for the first time, and you know, I get it if I was a kid. And then even after doing these things, then you come to a simple matching game where you have to match the colors. So now my kids are actually older than this. Like, this is for even younger than them. But I've caught them playing it once or twice, and even I played it for this long, so that's got to tell you something, right? Finally on my list, I want to talk about Crypt of the Necrodancer. Now, this game actually came out a while ago, but I wanted to check it out because they're doing that Legend of Zelda version coming out in the near future. I want to do a separate video on this later, but I'll tell you the brief version of it is if you're buying this game when the Legend of Zelda version comes out because you like the Legend of Zelda, it's not exactly the same. It's almost like a rhythm attacking dungeon crawler. You have to jump or move your character in sync, in time with the music. You can see the little bars going to the heart, and that's when you have to move to the next screen. And then you kind of crash into them to attack them. But then there's different strategies to attack the different enemies. It's super, super hard. This game actually has a really high difficulty level. So that's something you want to keep in mind. But the more you're watching this game, the more you look at it, you're like, well, that slime could just be one of the easy slimes from Legend of Zelda, or, you know, like the skeletons are already like the Staphylos and things like that. You know, the zombies could be something else. So you can see that if you just reskin it and remap it, it can be a Legend of Zelda anything. You can theme it like anything. It happens to have a Legend of Zelda tie-in later on this year, but still, it's a fun game by itself. It doesn't need a Legend of Zelda tie-in. I am looking forward to that too. Sure I am. Because I do like this game, but there is a higher level of difficulty, and again, it's not a Legend of Zelda game. It is a Crypt of the Necrodancer game that's going to happen to have a Legend of Zelda skin over later on. So something to keep in mind, but again, this game is available. It's been out for like a year now, but I just recently grabbed it just because I was curious to check it out before the Zelda version came out, and I'm glad I did. So what do you think? You going to download this game here? Might just. Bo, I want to hear from you. What are some other great Switch games that just came out recently? Let me know in the comments. Till next time, we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Et voici le château ennemi, où Richard se cachera comme un lâche. Ce que nous ferons, c'est que nous allons soigneusement throw a giant boulder at them.